Sustaining Creativity podcast. I'm your host, Mari Reesberg. Over the past several years, I've combined my degrees in acting and somatic psychology to share my sustaining creativity techniques with performers. And now I've decided to share it with a bigger audience that includes you. I believe we are all creative, and this podcast is all about that. I'll be interviewing people from all backgrounds, ages, and creativity experiences to share just how creative we all are. Today, I'll be chatting with Joseph Corella. He's a Broadway performer, choreographer, and creator of 5, 6, 7 Broadway, an all levels dance and fitness class. Please enjoy Joseph Corella. Welcome to the Sustaining Creativity podcast. Today, I am here with Joseph Corella. He is a Broadway performer, choreographer, and creator of 5, 6, 7 Broadway. I am so excited for you to be here. I can't believe I just really overemphasized the word Broadway.
And you gave me jazz hands.
Jazz hands. Oh my gosh. Well, welcome to the podcast.
Thank
Here we
you.
are.
No, that's a perfect introduction. Are you kidding me? And you said it exactly why I created that name, 5, 6, 7 Broadway. It's always, so you did it perfect. That was great. So thank you so much for having me on. And I'm so excited to chat about creativity and about the arts and just the magic of all of that. So I can't wait to share more.
I love it. I love that you use the word magic too, because I think creativity is some pretty special magic as well. So, but before we dive into the magic of creativity, why don't you take a couple of minutes and let our listeners know a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
Yeah. So as you were saying, I'm a Broadway performer. I've been on Broadway, national tours, a lot of regional theater. I performed in Las Vegas as well on musicals. And then in film and television, I choreograph as well, which I really love. I love bringing people together and really bringing the light within them. I love working with non-dancers. So there's something about that with me specifically that I really love. And that's where I wound up creating a dance fitness program that is for all levels called 5, 6, 7 Broadway. And it's all to Broadway music. So the whole class is Broadway music, but it's a workout, but it is something that is combining. It's an experience. It's a fitness theater experience, shall we say. And it's basically what I've been doing my whole life since I started dance when I was a kid. Yeah. And I fell in love with musicals when I was a kid. And I'm so grateful for the arts and what it did for me, not just dance, but music and movement and overall creativity and how it really helped me in my life through really dark moments as well, and really pulled me and dancing through life. Wicked, really. We're gonna have a lot of puns today.
We totally are. Yes. Strap in, people.
I know. Get ready for it. You could, 2 musical theater people are just like, we're ready.
Watch out. Right.
But I feel like I've been dancing through life, and it has been something that has really, I would not be sitting here if it weren't for that. And so I'm very passionate about that, but I love that 5, 6, 7 Broadway has, through something that was in my heart to do through time, has grown into something really magical. I created a workout video. I do virtual classes now because of the pandemic. You make it work, you go with the flow. And then I also do YouTube stuff as well. And it's been really great to let creativity and everything work the way it should. And there's been a lot of beautiful things that have happened because of that. And I just kind of let it all go the way it should. But I'm really passionate about sharing the power and magic of dance. I can know that the word dance can scare people, but there is, when we push beyond those things, there is really an incredible source of knowledge that really helps you grow in many different ways. And again, has helped me through the good and bad of my life. So.
Nice. I love it. Movement has been such a huge part of my own life. And I would call myself a mover more than a dancer. Yeah. And yet I know I can follow choreography. So yeah, I think whatever term you feel most connected to is what works for you.
Absolutely. 100%. As long as you move. Yeah. And I like saying like movement is key, especially. And I do with people in my class, there's people from 18 to 75, truly. Ooh. And so they all and coming together, and I really try to
Mm,
create a safe space for people to move. You don't have
mhm.
to be, it's not about being perfect, but it is about really trying and allowing yourself to get out of here and allowing yourself to connect into here. And that, through my experience with dance and dancing since I was a kid, there's so many incredible things when you get out of here
Mm,
and you allow yourself
yeah.
to
Get
dance
out of
freely.
your head and
Hmm.
into your body or into your
Yes.
heart space,
You
since no
should
one
see.
can see what you're doing.
I know, for anybody listening,
Yeah.
I totally put my hands on my head and then put my hands on my heart. Now I give you a visual and I took you on the journey.
Perfect. We've arrived. I love it. Yes.
Storytelling.
Yes, exactly. Well, what does it mean to you to be creative?
I mean, to be creative is many different things. It's allowing yourself to keep, well, overall, I think it's allowing yourself to keep that childlike fun
Mm,
alive within you. And I think as we get older, and I'm going to just speak from the United States perspective, but
mhm,
I think as we get older, it's pushed down to be creative, or that you don't even can't even tap into that in a way.
mhm.
So I really love to inspire people to keep that childlike fun alive. Even in my virtual classes, I tell people to work out costumes, like what, because usually we do a different combination. This week we did Heather's the musical, which is a pretty dark musical. I'm not gonna lie, but the
Yeah.
thing is I allow people. I say it's fun. Tap into these characters, allow yourself to get creative, see where you go. This Saturday we're doing Cats the musical,
Oh, yes.
which is creativity in its own right,
Hmm.
and own form. Some people love it, some people hate it, but that's the thing that I love. And overall, I really, and for anybody that's listening, I just want to encourage you to see what that is for you. It's different for
Hmm.
everybody. Maybe it's not dance, maybe it's painting, maybe it's creating, making something, maybe it's an acting class, a voice class. I've been getting back into voice classes again, and
Mm.
I love it because I started singing before I started dancing.
Hmm.
And but I, through life, I haven't really sung as much, and I love
Hmm.
singing. So I wound up getting back into it and doing virtual singing lessons with a
Mm.
teacher out of New York. And I love it. So, really finding that. And I really do believe when you tap into that creativity, it helps you in your everyday life. There's
Mm.
something about it. It allows you to let go of things. It allows you to connect yourself, but obviously the health benefits too with dance. I have to let you know
Yes.
there is science behind all of this, but
Hmm.
that the health benefits are incredible, and we want to
Hmm.
take care of ourselves. And I like having fun when I'm
Yeah,
taking care of myself. So there you go.
exactly. I love it. I know the physical health and mental health, so
Mhm.
important.
Mhm.
Those, creative arts and healing arts combined. It's a
I
beautiful
mean,
thing.
I think we're like long lost siblings
I know.
because the way you say it is exactly how I would say it. And I love it.
Well, I'm very excited to continue chatting with you about creativity, but I'm so curious. You talked about, creativity tapping back into that childlike fun.
Yeah.
Aside from dance,
Okay.
what are those pieces for you?
Well, I mean, besides dance, I love music. I mean, but
Mm-hmm.
obviously music because of dance, but
Mm-hmm.
I dance in my kitchen a lot just to music, improvising in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I get into these, especially during the pandemic, of being stuck at home and putting
Yeah.
on, I needed music. My husband would get so frustrated sometimes because I had my AirPods in all the time because I needed music as a soothing, it
Yeah.
soothed me, all that anxiety and what I was feeling. I know this sounds so crazy and weird. Well, maybe it's not, but like I love being creative in many different ways and seeing where creativity takes me.
Mm-hmm.
And through the pandemic, I obviously was bored a little bit sometimes, and
Mm-hmm.
I randomly got into TikTok. Like, just I got sucked down the hole. I obviously social media, let's find a balance, let's find a balance. But TikTok was such actually a really creative thing. And my husband and I grew up in the dance competition world. So like we were bored one day, like, gosh darn it. Like it was only 2 months in, I think, into the pandemic. And we were just, put on some music, and he started doing dance competition entrances, and he started doing, like, he came out and I was like, yeah, contestant number. And and I was like, we should film this would be funny, and fun, it would be fun. And we filmed it, and he did one, I did one, but it was a creative moment that We posted it and then it went viral, which was so weird to me. And I started getting messages from people and they're like, my friend in Australia messaged me and sent this. And then, and then come to find out it had been seen millions of times, us dancing like, a 12-year-old at a dance competition. But the thing is that I
you
love
embodied it so well. I have
seen
seen this video.
Have you?
I have, and it is amazing. Yes.
Let me tell you, they've become, and through that, there's a lot of creativity. And it was actually the messages we got from people like, oh, I love this so much. It's made me laugh. So made me laugh. You've brought back memories. And then we randomly named each other. He named me Blanche Dubois, Streetcar Named Desire, randomly. And I named him Samantha Mumba. I don't know if you remember Samantha Mumba, the singer. Yeah. And this is random. This was all in the moment. And suddenly people were like, oh my God. And these became their own characters. And so people were like, oh, what is Samantha going to do next? And then Blanche and Samantha were suddenly rivals because of the comments. And I was like, choose your own adventure. So again, to me, I love creativity for the fact of the places it can take you. And you really can't predict what things can become. That's why I love like movies. When you hear like Dirty Dancing, how the movies were made, like on Netflix, like they had no clue it was going to be what it turned out to be, but they're going forward. And I think that's whether you're making a movie or you're doing something in your personal life, when you get creative and think outside the box and try something new, you're like, I'm going to try something new. And then suddenly it opens one door and then it opens another door and another door. So yes, TikTok.
I love it.
I open these dance competition entrances doors.
Which is so amazing, and how much inspiration it brought to so many other people during the pandemic as well.
I get a lot of messages still of like, this has helped me so much. Who would have thought? Because we were just we were trying to be creative and have fun to help us.
Right. And that present moment experience. And that's 100%. Where creativity really thrives. I mean, that's where it lives, the present moment.
Yeah. And that's like one interesting example of creativity. But overall, I think the thing is that I love trying new things, and my heart will always tell me what that is. But music has always for my whole life been a big foundation. I have had incredible performances in my room, in that bedroom, close the door, put on some Paula Abdul or like whatever it is, especially Les Mis, Castle on a Cloud. I might have a dramatic cry, like the thing is that music has always been so healing to me. And I still to this day do it, especially the kitchen. I have no clue why. Maybe it's because like food makes me, it feels good, but like the kitchen is a place where I love putting on music and dancing. I love it. Safely.
Okay. Safe dancing. Yeah. I get it. I understand that. Yeah. I completely understand. The kitchen is, I don't know, maybe because it's like the heart of the home.
I know.
We spend a lot of time in our heart as movers and dancers, and maybe, I don't know.
Maybe. I think, I don't know. For some reason, it makes me feel really good. And I have a lot during looking back through the pandemic. I was dancing a lot in the kitchen. And so I would encourage people, in my virtual classes, I was like, dance, put on music and dance. This is the time to dance. But yes, creatively for me, I love kind of letting my heart guide me, and it tells me where I should go next. But I have learned when you do make that, if you listen to your heart and make the choice to maybe face the fear, try something new, then you go into the next chapter, which is really cool. And you're like, yay, I'm so glad I took that step forward to try something new creatively. And now it's opened a door that I had no clue needed to be opened.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, all I'm thinking of is like Joseph, close every door to me.
Oh my God. I had a dance solo. Growing up. I competed it for Junior Mr. Dance of America. I'm not joking you.
My God.
I had a coat. I had a colorful coat. Oh. So much drama in it.
I'm sure it was perfection. It really only can be Andrew Lloyd Webber, right?
Donny Osmond. Thank you.
There you go. Yes.
Well, yes, yeah. I love Donny Osmond in that. And I'm named after Joseph, that Joseph.
Are you really? Oh, well, here we are, full circle, having quite the experience.
I mean, let's be honest. He had a Technicolor Dreamcoat, and he for sure followed his heart. And he went through some difficult times, and he had a musical made later on in life. That is incredible.
Yeah. You can't make that up.
Ah.
Well, listening to your heart, I
Hmm.
imagine there are probably times in your life where it has been more challenging to listen and follow your heart.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So, how do you face those creative challenges or times where, I don't know, your heart tells you one thing and your brain says, "No, we're not going there."
Yeah. I mean, I think I've really had to learn to rest. I have to say
Mm,
rest. Rest has been, even though
yeah.
there's sometimes like I want to dance all the time, there is a time to rest as well as a way to
Mhm.
heal. But for me growing up, I knew I was gay at a young age. I'm from
Mhm.
Phoenix, Arizona. I grew up in a very religious family. There was a lot of things that were and that never settled right in my heart for
Mhm.
me. However, I did hear a voice in my heart that was like, "You should do this," and I'd be like, "I'm scared. I don't know." Like, I was young and I didn't have any clue.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing is that with that, the dance has been the through line that has helped
Mm.
me through that. But I have had to learn in later in my life
Mhm.
to rest. I'm very passionate. I'm very passionate about. I moved to New York. I wanted to be on Broadway, and I know how to
Mhm.
push myself, but I also have experienced some burnout through that. So I,
Yeah.
I highly encourage people to take a nap, to rest when your heart says, "Hey, I'm feeling tired." Maybe you need to take it. If you can take a rest, and
Yeah.
then help yourself. It's not for the rest of our lives. We're going to be learning ways to take care of ourselves, and
Mhm.
it's a journey to be human in this world.
Yeah, absolutely. And the beautiful thing that you're talking about, rest, creativity really comes alive when you let your brain rest and when you relax. A relaxed
Mhm.
mind is a creative mind.
120%. And that has been a learning experience for me now
Mhm.
in this new chapter of my life where, yeah, really listening to I don't like being tired. I don't think anybody likes being tired, but I don't
No.
like being tired. And then when I get tired, I'm like, what is wrong? What is
Right.
wrong? And but it's like, you're just tired and you need to rest. But
Mhm.
yes, when you get that refuel and you allow yourself to refuel, then they come back and you're even able to do more than you did before because you listen to your body, you listen to your
Mhm.
heart, and allowed yourself to just kind of breathe. Because
Yeah,
I've had to learn how to breathe.
it's important
I
for
mean,
sure.
might be essential. Might
Yeah,
be.
maybe,
Verdict's still
jury's
out.
still out, right?
Oh, it's jury. Is it jury still? I say
The
everything
jury's
wrong.
still out to make the
I
verdict,
Oh
maybe?
my God. You're probably right. You're probably no doubt you're right. I'm
I
not
don't know.
even I danced. I like movement.
Maybe I've been saying it wrong all these years.
No, you probably said it
It's
right.
truly possible.
My husband's like, Joseph, that's not how you say it. I'm like, well, in my world, we say that.
Yeah, it's
So
okay. You do you. It's all good, whatever that means.
that's my creativity.
Right? Exactly. I'm so curious. You're talking about listening to your heart, listening to your body.
Yeah.
How did you learn how to do that?
Through a lot of falling down and
Okay.
getting back and getting
Great.
back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, through a lot of falling down and getting back up. But I think especially now where I am in my life, I'm really doing I want to share my journey and what I've been
Mhm.
through because a lot of people see me for what, especially with teaching, it's like, yeah, get in there and we're like, yeah, we're dancing, but I really want people to know what I've been through and
Mhm.
why I'm making the choices I'm making. And I
Mhm.
think it is important that we share our journeys with each other, what
Yeah.
we have learned. Instead, I know for me, not saying you must do this or you must believe this or
Mhm.
this is the thing. It's like, well, share your what has helped you in your life. And
Mhm.
so I hope that what's happened in my life with through the dark moments, starting dance at a young age, being bullied,
Mm,
but I followed
mhm.
my heart. And I didn't let that bully who said, you shouldn't dance. You're a guy. That's queer. You're a
Right.
fairy. I heard, trust me, I heard it all.
Mhm.
But through that, I learned when I continued to hold on to my heart, to what my heart was telling me to do, that the next door was really magical.
Mm,
And I'll share one example. Junior high, I went to a Christian private school growing up, and then I went to public school in seventh grade.
mhm.
And seventh grade, from as people didn't know me, I was a male dancer. I'd already been dancing a while. And I was made fun of horribly,
Mm,
horribly. But the thing is that I look back and I was so like, I didn't really, in a way, I didn't care. Like I was like, I don't care. I am dance. I love dance. Like and I will never, I will never forget. In one of our classes, we had to like show an example of something. This is how I worked, and this is how I still kind of work. But like we had to show something. I showed you have to get up in front of the whole class and show something. I got up and showed how to do an arabesque. I had to teach you how to do an arabesque, let alone I'm being made fun of horribly outside of that class. Long story long with this, there was one bully and who actually we wound up becoming friends later, but he was it was really tough. Like, it's like out of a movie how bad it was. And I never said anything to him. I never got in a fight with him. Never once. Long story long, he wound up coming up to me and said, the reason I'm making so much fun of you is because I want to dance too. And you're doing something that I want to do. And he said, can I get your like blessing to dance? I don't know. I swear he said blessing, but this is 7th grade. So who knows? I might've changed a little bit, but overall I was like, yeah, he became a professional dancer. And I'll never forget, I was doing a musical in Vegas and he had a dance show at the Bellagio. And I remember in the taxi driving from the show and driving by the Bellagio and seeing his poster outside of the Bellagio. And I was like, who would have thought from 7th grade, from that moment to now? And I think that is the true reason. That's one example of why I really encourage people to listen to your heart, no matter what anybody around you is trying to pull you down. Don't let them take that away from you, because there is stuff that is meant to happen. I'm really glad he followed his heart and went for it. So,
oh my gosh,
long story long, there you go.
But an amazing story. So like when I don't know, like seeing someone who stays really true to their heart and what they know brings them joy and happiness, despite being bullied or people calling you names, whatever it was.
Yeah.
That takes so much safety and trust within yourself to sustain. Like that is a magical.
I mean, I thank you.
Piece.
And I have to admit, I look back at 7th grade me and I'm like, how did you do that? Because I have to admit, as I've gotten older, there's chances that I don't take like that anymore. I don't put myself in situations to be around people like that. However, I am changing that now, having conversations, more public conversations. I do feel like conversations are really important, but I do feel I used to kind of hold my journey just in a safe bubble. And I feel like, no, I need to do what 7th grade me did, which was out there. You can make fun of me. You can say all that you want about me. You can not like what I said, whatever it is. And I'm not going to let that from having conversations with people and letting that go out into the world. I used to be very much like, no, I'm not going to talk about that. And now I feel like I am trying to remember 7th grade me and say, okay, I did that. I'll get in front of the class and do an arabesque
and teach y'all how to do it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I was like, I'm going to be on Dance Magazine and like arabesque. And like, like that is, and I'm like, I'm going to be on Broadway. And that's the thing is I had such a love and passion for what I did, but I was really the only male dancer. Like there was not a lot of male dancers in Phoenix, Arizona at that time. And, I had great people around me, incredible teachers that supported me as well. So I want to say that too. Our teachers are really, really important. Yeah. And I really hope that if you have good teachers in your life or good educators around you or around your kids, support them and give them, especially art teachers. We did a musical theater. We had my 7th and 8th grade, and the long story along with this too, had a really good musical theater program. However, now as I've gotten older, I realized they did a lot of stuff. They had to raise money for the school district wasn't supplying all these things or everything. So there was a lot of things that I just thought happened, but there's a lot of work, and we for sure need to support the arts and help. So if you have good art teachers or whatever it is around you, good teachers that are helping, give them the support, because I have a feeling they're probably not getting everything they deserve in their life.
Right. I second that. Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
There's my PCA.
Yeah. We're going to soapbox that one. We're just going to
support the arts.
Support those arts people. And it sounds like you have such an incredible community that you have created. How does your community impact or influence your own creativity?
Oh my gosh, 100, and because that's another aspect of, if you build it, they will come. And as I followed my heart and created this class, and I remember
Mhm.
starting class with like 2 people in it, and it built into the community that it wanted to become. Creatively, it
Mhm.
started attracting the energy that it wanted to. And it started really bringing in amazing people that I've known for, some people have been taking with me 7 years.
Mm.
So it's really, really cool. And watching, um, I got a message the other day from a woman that I've never met, and she does my YouTube tutorials, and she is dealing with cancer. And she posted a video of herself
Mm.
on Instagram and tagged me and said, this is my journey, and as I'm going through chemo and radiation, I'm doing 5, 6, 7 Broadway dance videos, and it's been really helpful. And I messaged her, and I asked her if I could repost that, because it's really beautiful that she's sharing. I said, thank you for sharing your strength, because
Yeah.
that, it made me think like, yeah, if I was going through something as difficult as that, how, I'm not going to pretend I'm always like, yay, I'm always making the choice to dance.
Mhm.
That is my goal when things are
Mhm.
tough. But still can very much go into a dark place sometimes. But music and all the overall, all the arts have really been helpful to keep me moving. But it was
Mhm.
nice. I said, thank you for sharing your strength with
Mm.
me, and also with people around you. And I said, so I'm really inspired by what you're doing and how you're handling things. So it's, to say the least. And I have actually some things in my room here of letters that I've gotten,
Mm.
just to kind of remind me, keep me grounded within everything. And as things move and progress, like, this is about helping people. Okay,
Yeah.
this is about keeping and building a community of people. But you never know what somebody's going through, and that's another thing I've learned through.
Mhm.
Some people come into class, and I try to remind people, you never know what it took that one person to get here to
Yeah.
this moment. And that's a
Mhm.
big deal, and we don't want to take that for granted. And so when you see somebody new in class, this was in-person classes, when you see somebody new in class, smile. You don't know what it took that person next to you. They're uncomfortable. We want to be supportive of each other, because it might be you don't know what they're going through at all.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Oh, I love it. And so much creativity comes alive in community and being
mhm.
able, I mean, I I can only imagine how many people wear costumes when they're encouraged to in
all
class. I
all
love
the
it.
time. Well, and that's it. So, when the pandemic hit, and then I took some time for myself,
Mhm.
to kind of gather my thoughts. And
Yeah.
then I suddenly was like, okay, it's time to teach, and virtually. And then I wound up doing virtual classes, and it's been interesting to see the community come together from around the world. Because one
Mm.
thing is, like, I always like I would like to say, like, I want to get the whole world singing and dancing. And in
Mhm.
a way, this was a start of that,
Mm.
because like, I have people from Australia and Brazil, the UK, I mean, truly all over, and they come together, and they don't see. So I record the second part of class. Don't be nervous if you're hearing this. Don't be nervous. You can turn off your camera, because that's another thing. Like, it's a safe space. You can turn off your camera if that's. But we
Yeah.
usually do it it's called Act Two, and Act Two, for the second part of class, I teach a combination that I break down.
Mm.
Like this Saturday, we're doing cats. So we'll do, and people get full out, and I record it gallery view, so that and then I post it on Facebook, and then they get to see how it looks. And it's been inspiring for
Mm.
them to see, because they only see me on the screen. But
Right.
then they suddenly, and it's really helped pull people together through some really dark times. And people have made friendships.
Mm.
We're all like friendships. So I really, really, I love that there's ways to come together, even though it might be, scary at sometimes, like these last
Mhm.
couple of years.
Yeah. I love that you've created this space for people to try new things, step out of a comfort zone, get creative.
Yeah.
I can't wait to take a class.
You have
I
to.
totally
Yeah.
will. I want
Yeah.
to, and I totally will.
Because we're doing Cats next week. And then I think we're doing Wicked. My husband
Oh.
was in Wicked on Broadway. So he's going to teach in a couple weeks. He's going to do a combo from Wicked. And
Fun.
yeah. And then you can wear green. You can put on some green.
I got it. I'm
And it
there.
doesn't, you can kick or you could shimmy the whole time. I'd be happy. As long as you're moving, you understand.
I do. I do. I love it. Well, as we've been talking, and you shared so much, so many tips and fun things, but how would you encourage someone to find creativity in their life if they didn't think they were creative?
I mean, I would say try new things, which,
Mhm.
it seems kind of simple, but it's not, because when it's really allowing yourself to see what you connect with,
Mhm.
and we're all we're all creative from the moment you put on an article of clothing and do your, like, every form of everything you're doing in your life is a creative expression.
Mm.
So, whatever that's like, try new things, new hairstyle,
Mhm.
new different clothes, colorful clothes. There's just so many ways to be creative. Reading, finding, you're listening to a podcast right now, so your community is like this podcast community is a great
Mhm.
resource to find new ways to learn from each other, what helps. So continue doing that for sure. And you never stop learning how to be creative. But if you're like, I encourage people just to try new things, especially online. There's a lot of online stuff now, and especially if you're
Mhm.
looking for dance, I highly recommend 567 Broadway.
Yes. How could
Plugging
you
that
not?
in, plugging that in.
Yeah.
But if money is tight, for sure, I have stuff on YouTube, and give
Mhm.
that a try in a safe space. But always, I do believe there's some things where you're like, listen, I'm never gonna do A, B, and C again, and you're like, I felt that. But if you're like, maybe allow yourself to try it a couple times
Mhm.
and go into that. But hey, find an acting class in your community, go see a show. I know
Yeah.
everything's opening up more. Support your local theaters.
Mhm.
Allow yourself to just try new things, whatever that is, and listen to your heart.
Mm.
Your heart will tell you, so be like, once you actually say it to yourself too, universe, or whatever you believe in, like, I want to be creative,
Mm.
open that door for me. And I'm telling you, it will happen, and it will happen in the most magical
Mm.
ways. But once I do believe you have to kind of put it out there. And then
Mhm.
when that happens, then take the step to see. But, it might make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's going to be a roller coaster ride of emotions, but that's what it's about.
Nice. I love it. And to pay attention. Put it out there and
Yes.
then pay attention to what
Yes.
comes back. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Wait, I have to tell one story really quick.
Yes. Oh, please.
So
Please do.
this is, so I went on the national tour of Greece,
Mhm.
and I will never forget. I was really putting myself out there in different ways and really trying to take care of myself. And I went to The Price is Right with the cast. We were in Los Angeles for a couple weeks with the tour, and we went to The Price is Right. I don't know what this has to do with creativity, but it does have to do with listening to the signs. So we went to The Price is Right. I love The Price is Right, and I used to pretend as a kid to like run up and down the aisles, like in my house, screaming as a child.
I love
No,
it.
and so we went to The Price is Right, and they called my name, and I freaked out. But and like, I was like, I clutched my pearls and was like, holy moly, this is happening. Couldn't answer a question for the life of me. They were like 2 + 2. And I was like 25,000. And like, I just couldn't, it was so excited. But the thing is that I could feel that I'm really grateful that I was stepping outside of the box, trying new things. I was
Mm.
going on tour. That was a new experience, traveling from state to state, trying new things. But I'm so glad I did it,
Mhm.
because the Price is Right moment was the universe was like, this is, look, when you step outside and you do things that might be scary or new, there's some
Mhm.
magical things. Who knows? You might get on The Price is Right.
I love that. And you know what? Creativity happens at the edge of your comfort zone.
I need to, okay. Can I get that on a t-shirt?
Yeah.
I need that on a
T-shirt,
t-shirt.
like embroider it on a pillow.
I'm going to put it on Instagram. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I
It's
do want it on a pillow though.
right.
That would be the perfect place for it.
Creativity happens at the edge of your comfort zone.
We're creating right now in the moment. Now you're going to be able to buy that on your
Right.
site.
Maybe we'll see. Yeah. Well, this has been such a treat to chat with you. And I just have one last question.
Okay.
What does it feel like in your body to be creative?
As I take a breath.
Mhm.
What does it feel like in my body to be creative? It feels that it feels present. When you're
Mhm.
present, it allows me to be present.
Mm.
Creativity pushes me into the present moment.
Mhm.
And you know, sometimes I'm kicking and screaming, but it pushes me to be present. And that's where the magic lies, within the present moment. So for me, that's for me.
I love it. I love the present moment and that experience of being fully there with yourself and with other people.
It's magical. It's
It
so magical.
is.
It's like the safe space, but you know, sometimes you're like, you're pushing through
Right.
but you're pushing a lot of stuff to get to that. You're like, but when you get there, it does. And
Mhm.
that's why I love like dance, because it allows me to get to that
Mm.
present moment and into music. And suddenly you're like, oh my gosh, what is this magic?
Yeah. Where am I?
Where am I? What am I here? Am I in my home? What is going on?
Oh, such a treat to chat with you. Thank you so much. And if
Thank
people
you.
want to learn more about 567 Broadway or all of the other magical, wonderful things you do, how could they go about doing that?
So you can find me at 567broadway.com, and everything is really there. So all the social media handles, but it's really at 567broadway.com. And don't forget YouTube. YouTube is a great
Mhm.
resource. So I have a lot of stuff up there for you on YouTube, a workout video, but again, everything is at 567broadway.com. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I absolutely will respond, and happy to answer any questions that you might have and connect. It's
I
really
love it.
important to connect. So, but thank you so much for having me on. You're amazing. Your energy,
Thank
you need to come to class. You're going to come to class, and you're going to put on a workout costume. And
Oh, yes, I am. I've got so many costumes. Yes,
I love it. I
I
love it
can't
so much.
wait. Well, thank you again. It has been such a treat. Thanks for listening to the Sustaining Creativity Podcast. We'd love to keep in touch, so follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We are at Sustaining Creativity. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Tag your friends and family so they can listen too. We love to hear from you, so leave your reviews, comments, and questions. Check out our website, sustainingcreativity.com, for upcoming offerings and creativity coaching. Tune in Tuesdays for our next episode. And remember, with creativity, anything's possible.